Yo, this create conversation.
No.
I'm glitching in here like, yo, I can't even believe I'm saying this.
Yo, peace. Welcome back to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I'm Carmelo Anthony here with my co-host.
It's your boy, the Carmelo, man, the human do-rag flap. This is 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, baby. Like my man said, this is a Wave Sports and Entertainment original. You know what I'm saying? Today, we got a special guest in the building. You know what I'm saying? He's a punchline god, mixtape master. Got more jerseys than a Hall of Fame player. You know what I'm saying? Like Mr. Naismith called him, Mr. Soul Tape, matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? Had y'all saying da-da-da-da, damn, historical shit. You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn Zone. You know what I'm saying? Fabolous, huh, son? You know what I'm saying? Fab in the building. Was good. Brooklyn in the building.
You worked on that piece.
You know what I'm saying?
Legendary introduction right there, man.
You feel me?
You worked on that, champ.
Because, yo, every time you get on the mic, it's like, yo, he's coming, B. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, pause.
That's
Part of the left. Part of the left. Part of the left.
I keep telling you that.
Start off with the part of the left.
Wild shit sometimes.
I was trying to let it fly. When you threw coming on the head, I said, hold on.
Nah, he out of control today. He's out.
Yo, I'm right half that, you know what I'm saying, that Prosecco. You know what I'm saying?
No, we got
and
Fab.
took a shot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the shot and the
Don't let
tequila
the
after,
shots
man.
get you in trouble, man.
God damn.
We got Fab
But
in the
as
hook, baby.
As we said, Fabolous in the building, you know what I'm saying?
No, in the hook.
In the hook.
Been a long time coming too, man.
Been a long time.
Pause.
Here you go. Let me tell you something. You got him with him. You got to be on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to stay sharp with him.
But we were talking before, and we was like, you know, it's Red Hook is coming up as well. You know what I'm saying? It's like a community that's building. It's always been here. It's always been a part of Brooklyn, but it's growing. It's, you know what I mean? It was a very industrial and very what's the hood kind of area at first, and now I see that every time I come back, it's something new here, something more. I'm finding, developing, and discovering something every time I come. So it's a good thing for the hood.
Like we said, you know what I'm saying, up top, Brooklyn Zone. Like, what was it like for you, you know what I'm saying, growing up out here in Brooklyn, in Brevoort, you know what I'm saying, to be specific, you know?
It was Brooklyn, man. I ain't really, to be honest, I ain't have much to compare it. I have different places that I've been to compare it to. So it was kind of just home, and it was kind of what I knew. Even the things that seemed not normal was our normal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So growing up there, you know, we seen everything that, you know, we could look at now and say, like, you know, you should be traumatized from them. I don't think I was really traumatized. I just was adapting to what was my environment at the time. You know what I'm saying? As now I look back, I could see things, you know, could have been different, or you should have been different. But you know what I'm saying? I think also that's what thickens your skin in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Makes you who you are. You know, develops your personality and how you navigate through the world. So, you know, people's environment and what they grow up around is a part of that. And that's what Brooklyn was for me.
Speaking of, you know what I'm saying, Brooklyn's changing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you one of those people that think New York in general is changing? Like, or changing, or is New York always changing? You know what I'm saying? Is that always the case for New York?
I think everywhere is changing, but New York, in a sense, is changing for the good and bad. You know what I mean? I think that's part of change too. I think change happens, and sometimes it's good for certain people and sometimes it's bad for certain people. But again, that word of adapting comes apart, because everybody, whatever situation is happening, you're gonna have to swim or sink. You know what I'm saying? And that's where New York, I feel like it's in a stage of that too. It's teaching people to swim, and it's changing the layer of it, where it was just like certain neighborhoods were for certain. I guess gentrification too is coming into play. So like it's changing neighborhoods from looking like what it's supposed to be. You know, you go to Bed-Stuy now, it's people walking their dogs, their little poodles, and it's different. It's different textures to different neighborhoods.
Great Danes and all that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a. But I don't think that's bad. I just think that it's expanding, it's growing. It's as long as it's not really like forcing nobody or pushing the people out that, you know, were there. But I think also at the same time, people do have to not get settled in ways and settle into just this is how it is and how it's gonna be, and you know what I mean? Like I think the change also keeps people thinking and productive and moving as well. So you know what I mean? Like I said, it's good and bad in it, but I do think it's changing. Some for the good, some for the bad.
But how do you adapt it? Like in comparison to the ever flow of culture changes.
I moved to Jersey.
No, I'm saying they went across the water. Fuck that.
Shout out to all my New York, New Jerseyans.
Being honest.
Fuck that. No, I'm saying, but you're like tie that into like your career and shit. Like you had to, I don't think you get enough credit. Mm-hmm. And for me, this was a special moment, for me to have you sitting on this couch because your career, we sit and talk about longevity on this over here. Like, I don't think you get enough credit for being able to stand the test of times in this hip hop industry.
Right.
Right? Like, I'm talking about going back from when you started to who you had to go up against, like, and how you had to carve your own niche out.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, Breathe back then wasn't, that wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? Right. But and even fast forward now, like, you adapt, saying like your longevity in this game, in this industry, where sometimes it may not fit your style and rap and your flow, so you got to be patient and sit back. But how do you do that? Because how do you do it? How did you navigate that? Because it's an ever-changing industry.
Well, I do think the key to longevity is being able to adapt, but I think also one of the major key / D-Day Khaled is just remaining yourself in those times. So adapting, but not really like trying to be something else or trying to be what the trend is or trying to be what somebody else is doing. Just adapting yourself in these times that are changing. All right, this is what's going on. All right, where do I fit in, or how do I fit in? Or how can I make what I do fit into what people are doing now? I think people appreciate you for you first, especially if you have a fan base or curated people who fuck with you for you. I think that's what they want, you to stay you, but also evolve and grow in the same sense as well. So that's what I tried to do. It's no real recipe, to be honest, though. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't just tell somebody, yo, what worked for me is gonna work for you.
Right.
But I think the most part is staying true to yourself and just looking at what's going on around you, keeping your ear to the streets, and your ear to the game or the culture that you in, whether it's podcasting, whether it's I don't care if you breakdancing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta see what's going on out here. Like, you know what I mean? Breakdancing is now evolved into all kind of dancing.
That shit is an Olympic sport.
Yeah.
Yo, facts.
Also, I heard they're getting that out of here.
Crazy legs back.
I was happy for the hip hop breakdancing community, but I'm like, yo, come on, dog. Like, what is this doing in the Olympics?
What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying?
And what qualified in other countries? Like, they start to do shit that, what is this? Is this breakdancing? Like, people, like, it's gonna lose. But I heard it's out of here. But anyway, any kind of thing you doing though, you know what I mean? You got to stay tapped into it. You know what I'm saying? I was fortunate that people also fucked with me for that long. You know what I'm saying? This is a game where, new people come. The game is, they always say it's a young man's sport. And for people to continuously just rock with you, just genuinely, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Then on the music side and, your relationships maintained and all that stuff. I think that's all, part of who you are and what you've done in the game as well. So that's how I would say I've navigated through it. It's just staying true to myself, but also just watching what's going on around me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big supporter and I even like tell my kids, like, I low key just be like, yo, watch your surroundings when you leave. And like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what that's always been a thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even when I hear things is going on, we live in a world where anything can happen. So I just tell them, watch your surroundings and be conscious of what's going on.
That's tough though, man. like this, like to stand on, you know what I mean? Stand on your square for that long, like
right.
And you know, darts being shot at you, like industry changing, people changing,
music
people
even changes
you know what I mean? Like
every
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
sound. When you talking about sound change.
I mean, I'm talking about the hottest person in the game.
Yeah.
4 years later, that they sound and they, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to drop names because it'll seem like you're taking a shot in today's world. You know what I mean? But there's been artists like, been on top of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 3 years later, because sounds change or the beats change or just the
which is my point
change.
to you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of niggas can't adapt to that.
Yeah.
That change in sound.
That's why it's hard to really jump trend to trend, because it's really hard to jump trend to trend and be to keep going through all the trend. Like, you could jump to a trend, but they may not accept you jumping to the next one or try to jump back to what you
be consistent.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, nah, we wanted you here. You went over there and tried to beat Kodak Black, and that's not you. You know what I'm saying? And then now you can't get back.
Yeah, it's over. That door's closed.
You know what I mean?
You switched up, whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Huh?
So, like you said, moving from trend to trend, but like, you're a guy that people really kind of seek out for collaborations, you know what I'm saying, for guest verses, 16s, all that. How have you been able to manage that? You know what I'm saying? Like, music changing, and you still able to be getting them features and, you know what I mean, calls from
Well,
others.
I think they come to get Fab from Fab. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they come to Fab and say, we want something else.
We want you to do a Houston beat.
Yeah,
Fab.
we want you to, you know, to do auto-tune, chopped and screwed. Like, they don't come for Fab for that. They could go to somebody else or whoever, you know, whatever sound they, you know what I mean? So when they come to Fab for a feature, whether it's like an R&B feature or whether it's, you know, slick talk, metaphoric, whatever they coming for, I feel like they want Fab and a part of their song and shit like that. You know what I mean? So,
he plays a role.
Yeah.
Right.
I think he carved out a very niche genre for himself.
And that's what helped me stick to my shit too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It helps me stick to that because it's like the old saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
You kind of gotta like.
And
stick
people
to
fuck
your
with you for who you are. You
That
know
was,
what I mean?
that was you could put that on your calendar. Be every summer like, yo, Fab gonna have a joint with R&B. Shorty is gonna go crazy on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
But a lot of artists wouldn't own that. You know what I mean? A lot of artists wouldn't own that, especially somebody like himself who comes from that. Like, a lot of artists wouldn't be like, yo, this is my lane. Like, I'm going, fuck it. I'm going I'm going on these features with these R&B songs. I'm going to the late. Like, a lot of artists won't accept that.
Let me tell you the truth. It's me coming from Brooklyn. A lot of my faves are Brooklyn guys, but as a whole, all of my faves are guys who could rap for the ladies and you know, still be those spitters that you respect on the mic as well. So all the way from the top of Big Daddy Kane to Big to Jay.
Partner left.
Oh yeah. I've already accepted now that this shit is gonna get crazy. So I'm trying to block, but in my head it's fucking with me. My spidey senses made me skip over something. It was really because I was about to say pause right there. But I don't want the whole show to be saying,
we good.
I'm trying to but I'm really glitching it here. Like,
I didn't want to break the spirit.
This shit come out on the internet. I was supposed to say pause right there. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to block it. You know what I mean?
They gonna edit it on the internet anyway, man. It don't even matter if you say it or not.
It's nothing to do. There's nothing you could do. You know what I'm saying? But all of the guys that I came up listening to, you know, from Big to Jay, to Nas to even LL, you know what I mean? All of those guys were spitters, but they also, you know how to make a joint that the ladies could fuck with as well. So that's kind of where I, without me even knowing, kind of shaped my style too. And then when I came about it, doing it for myself, it started just coming to me at first. Like, it started, like, R&B features would come, and I was like, all right, cool. Let me do my thing, and it just grew. So it was like two lanes for me, where I could you know what I'm saying, do my thing on the R&B side, but then I was also on the Clue mixtapes, rapping in a whole different direction.
I was just about to say that, bro. It's like, you could depend on two things. Fab is going to have a crazy freestyle on the Clue tape. And he's going to have a crazy joint for the summer. You know what I'm saying? With the top-down situation with the shorties, all that.
Yeah.
Another thing that you mentioned before is like hip-hop and breakdancing. We was talking about breakdancing in the Olympics. But I feel like people don't talk about this a lot when they talk to you. Graffiti, dog.
Oh yeah,
like sport. You know what I'm saying? Fabolous came out the gate as Fabolous Sport. A lot of people don't know. You know what I'm saying? Do your Googles? You know what I'm saying? Fabolous Sport, BGS. You know what I'm saying?
That came from like you said. That's a part of hip hop too. Graffiti at some point was part of the whole texture of hip hop. And I think as a teenager, I was also in the art, so that's where I think graffiti caught my eye, because it's a representation of art in a sense. This a store owner, or he might not like it, but you know what I mean. I used to see graffiti pieces, or I even like the more artistic pieces as well, not just like tagging your name on something, even though that was part of graffiti life, but like the more artistic things, or I grew up in the 80s, so I like used to see like the trains that used to have like big drawings on the side. That part of it was more cool for me. Actually, when you got on the train and just seeing people scribble all over the car, that part I was like, that. Now I see why they say this shit is a little too much. But I love the artistic thing, like on the outside where it was, pieces and the characters and stuff like that. So that's what kind of got me into graffiti at the time, and it's also like a unwritten like kind of penmanship with graffiti. So when you sign your name, sometimes you can see it. Like if I see other people who, Fat Joe for one, Fat Joe will sign his name. You can tell Fat Joe used to write or something, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was just a texture of hip hop to me, man. I was never a break dancer. I was never really a dancer period at all, but break dancing wasn't my thing. But graffiti, rapping, you know what I mean? That was the culture that, you know what I mean, like I grew up in.
You own Fabolous Sport?
Huh?
You own Fabolous Sport? Trademark that, champ. Go get that.
I don't think I own Fabolous Sport.
Come on, champ. Let's
go
get
baby.
that.
You know what I'm saying? 2 episodes in a row, making $10 million ideas.
You know a funny story about trademarking? Like one time I went to trademark Coco Loso, when like we had this whole little thing with the coconut Ciroc and the pineapple, just the drink itself. And I was like, you know what, this shit is, I started seeing it like getting put on menus and stuff like that. I'm like, oh. So we went to do it, and then they was like, oh, this trademark has already been claimed. I'm like, what? I was fresh off of this shit. This shit was like a week or two in. I'm like, what? I'm like, who could have snatched up the... They said, I don't know, the lady, the lawyer was like, I don't know, said somebody, Sean Combs? I'm like, oh shit.
He got him.
Crying.
He said, got him.
No, I'm telling you, that shit is Fabolous Sport.
I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't even know that was a real thing. You know, that of course I was much younger, so I didn't know like trademarking things. And I just seen on the internet too, Hove got sued for the rock side.
That's crazy.
From a dude from wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I guess obviously he trademarked the diamond sign, because he was I forgot what, I think his name was DDP.
Yeah, Diamond Page.
Yeah. So his shit was something with the diamond, and he really sued Hove and won.
Yo, that's crazy. He can sue Hove and won. Yo, dog, DDP lawyers go crazy. You ever catch a case called Diamond Dallas Page lawyers?
That's why Hove don't be throwing them.
He be like this.
Yeah.
They can throw them like this.
Yeah, they can come up to a third and Hove and be like, yeah. That's crazy. Yo, even though I don't know if that's true, the internet say a lot of shit.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
We in an era that there's no credibility to the internet. It's just shit you see on your timeline, and you just gotta take it.
Nah, that's some real shit though. Go get that Fabolous Sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You need that.
I gotta do it right after the show.
This ain't live yet. This ain't live.
Yeah, that's why I gotta do it right after the show. By the time this shit ends, somebody gonna be like, they gonna see it's already popped up.
Yeah, with the headphones, you already doing it.
Yeah. Somebody in the corner of the studio, like, you know what? You gonna have to buy that from me.
Yeah. So yo,
There's
for
a lot
minute,
of motherfuckers in here too. It's like 30, y'all.
It could be anybody.
Yo, man, if I see this date, I know this date. If I see this, it was filed this date. Yo.
He's checking all y'all phones on the way out the door. So yo, like New York rap has been defined by a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? Like at one point it was just like punchlines. It was like dudes like you, like Lloyd Banks, like, you know, et cetera. That was it was just like you. When you heard the 16, you know, yo, I'm gonna hit some shit that's gonna have me like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? And, or have that delay where you hear the punchline and you like.
I think we were built off of lyrics, period. But I think there was layers of what type of lyrics. Metaphoric, like the me, Lloyd Banks, that layer was one layer. But I remember I just seen A Boogie freestyling with Don Q, and it reminded me of 50 and Lloyd Banks because not just the styles of it, but just how A Boogie and 50 was more like the melodic flow, but you know what I mean?
And, yo,
still
Q
talking
like,
a shit, but you know what I mean? It wasn't just about the metaphor. And Don Q and Lloyd and Banks is like the bar metaphoric guys, you know what I'm saying? So that's what let me know. I'm like, oh yeah, it's different little layers and tiers of New York lyricism too. It's not just only metaphoric or, you know what I'm saying? There's different ways you could do it too.
Yeah. So what do you think defines New York hip hop now? Like sound, certain
I was just
flow.
about to ask that. Like, what is New York sound?
Right.
I think there's a couple different sounds going at the moment. I think there is, of course, there was a drill sound that was pretty prevalent for the last couple years. There's a new sexy drill that's kind of like the Cash Cobain.
Sexy drill is such a crazy name for a genre, bro.
They gave it the real name to it.
That's what they call it.
Sexy drill is crazy.
Nah, no, that's what I'm saying. Every time I just hear it.
Yeah, Cobain.
Cobain got it.
Up. Like, don't shoot the messenger. You know what I mean? I call it sexy drill. Yeah.
Yeah. But nah, Cash Cobain got it. Man.
Yeah, Cobain got it. Shout out.
Cash is
got
an ill guy. He definitely is taking the sound and taking it from drill and running down on your ops. It's a dance music, but in a different lane. So I fuck with it. New York also has that metaphoric lyricism as well. You probably got to dig a little bit deeper before. Before it was the forefront. Now the forefront is more either those drill scenes or just typical street party music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think there is a lot of lyricism still left in New York. It's just
pockets.
Right.
Just stop tapping.
Right. I mean, like, I know you for a minute, and from the interviews from before and all that, like, you've always struck me as a dude that is like an MC. You know what I mean? And like MCs, like you said, adapt. They're curious. They wanna do their thing on a new sound. So what is a Fabolous drill joint sound like? You know what I'm saying? Like, who would you feature on it? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know. I think I tap into any sounds, really, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, you feel me? Because it's like the versatility that's there from being that era of MC where it's like, yo, I could get on an R&B joint and I could get on the clue tape and give you the bars.
Yeah, I just did a joint with Cash. I think it's called Problem. And I just did a joint with I do a lot of joints even with a lot of the younger guys, and they world is they world. So, I just bring what I do to they world. I don't try to like
fit in.
Yeah, I don't try to like
switch your flow,
switch my style and try to just be what they do. I just bring my shit to their world, and vice versa. Sometimes they are on my shit too, and I do what I do, and then
they come to like gra.
Yeah, they come. They even if they want to do gra, that's their thing. You know what I mean? Do your thing. You know what I mean? Like I appreciate everybody for what they do. You know what I mean? I ain't expecting them to come and be rapping like Fab. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
has any younger artists you collaborated with tried to do that? Where it's just like, yo, I look up to you, so I'm gonna try to,
they'll say like, yo, I gotta come with my shit, man. I'm here. I'm rapping with Fab. I gotta, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Certain people will like, even when I do features, certain people, you know, they want to make sure that they verse is up to par. And I'm cool with that too. Like if you know, some people might send me a verse and they be like, yo, I had to go back and touch my shit up a little bit. You know what I mean? But I've touched my this conversation.
No. We gonna put a disclaimer that say pawn to the left on Fab episode.
Just a little graphic on the bottom just to pop up. Like
I'm glitching in here, like, yo, I can't even believe I'm saying this shit. So like even like they'll be like, yo, I had to touch my verse up a little bit, and I'll be like, you know what I mean? I'm cool with, you know what I mean? Like whatever is comfortable, and even myself, like I'll have a joint I'm working with. And if I come back and feel like I gotta, you know, add a little touch of a line, switch it around, like I'm cool with that too. You know what I'm saying? It's really about being comfortable with yourself and a finished product at the end of the day too. So like I never you wouldn't even believe it. The top dogs that came to me and been like, yo man, I had to go back and switch some lines up. You know what I mean? Or I hear it after and say, you know what I mean? And they'd be like, yeah. If somebody was next to me one time, was like, yeah, I switched some lines up, nigga. You wasn't gonna kill me on my own shit. Like
fuck out it.
You know what I mean? So,
but that's what makes you who you are, though, champ. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep going back to that on the show. So, like, you need that. You need those flowers. Be like, this is what I know. But
I'm sure when you was on a court,
you need your flowers. Be like, you need to be. When niggas talk about this industry and niggas talk about hip hop and rap, like. Yeah. It ain't too many niggas who done what he was able to do and still doing. Right. And still staying in that lane. So I don't want to keep going back to that, but I am because
I appreciate it.
You need it like for me, like you need to hear that. You get what I'm saying? We done built before, but you need to, the people need to know that. Like this nigga is one of them ones. Like he ain't he ain't nothing to play with. You get what I'm saying? Like
I'm more motivated by when, you know, if I receive the flowers or when people see me and recognize what you've accomplished, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't expect everybody to see it from Melo's angle or see it from whatever angle.
I've been there.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? 20 of them years I've been there seeing him.
Credit is great, but some places don't take credit. Flowers is great. Flowers die. Yeah. So you gotta keep going based on without people giving you anything.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how I keep going. It's just when I get them, great. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the flowers in the vase, but eventually you're gonna look over them. Shit's gonna be tilted over.
Yeah, these real flowers. Just I keep watering them.
We got the shits that last the forever joints.
Shit lasts a year.
We got the shit last a year. And you come back. You come back on the show. We give you another joint.
This shit lasts 3 years.
It's hilarious about that. I bought some shits for a year. Them shits is finally starting to look like the shits is falling apart. I'm like,
these shits lasted long.
I can't even be mad at them. Them just lasted a long time.
Shout out to Venus. Send some flowers, Venus.
$50 well spent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we got a segment on the show called the 7 p.m. moment. You know what I'm saying? It's a moment in your career, in your life where it was like, yo, young Fabolous sport, BGS, you know what I'm saying? Aspiring rapper, aspiring artist, you know what I mean? It has to go this way or go this way, you know what I'm saying? And you chose whatever way you chose, you know what I mean? And it resulted in where you are now.
Do it have to be from the street or from when I was already
from whenever, from life. You know what I'm saying? It could be you got a booking stay, bro. It could be anything.
I want to say one key one that popped in my head is I was signed to Interscope through Clue, and at the time I think Clue got let go from Interscope. And they came to me about either just staying on Interscope and not, the Clue wouldn't be there anymore, or leaving with Clue, and I guess just not having a deal anymore. So it was a real decision for me because at that time too, aspiring as an artist, having a record deal was the end all be all of the ladder of success of you doing what you want to do. Right. And but I chose to leave with Clue and not have a deal because me staying there without Clue, Clue brought me into that situation. So it was a loyalty there. But also he also was like kind of my guy in a industry that I didn't really know. So I could have stayed there. I would have been with no real like figure connecting me to them. They probably would have just put me with A&R who never signed me in the first place, who, it's just maybe a job or something to them. And I would have had to, deal with that other than dealing with, my guys that I came into the building with. I chose to go with Clue and lost the deal at the time. And we ended up getting we just went back to what we knew. We went back to the tapes and, just grinded up a little bit and ended up getting another deal again with Elektra, not sure after. And then that's what led to Lil Mo hit us up about being on Superwoman at that time. And I had asked her, like, I was wondering, like, how, at the time, too, Lil Mo did joints with Ja Rule, Jay, and, she had a few artists that she could have leaned on for features or asked for features. And she came to me for Superwoman, and we was kind of like, I was like, why? You know what I'm saying? Because you could have, Ja Rule at this time was huge. And she was like, I just been hearing you on them tapes with Clue, and you was just going crazy. And she wanted me on Superwoman. So and then the label didn't even like support it either, because they was like, you getting like kind of this new guy who, he got a little like street buzz and a little energy going, but we want you to go, this your single, we want you to go get one of the top dogs. Ja, for sure. You just on the job. Why you ain't asking Ja?
The guy that's on the charts.
You know what I'm saying?
Why you asking Ja?
Ja Rule. You know what I'm saying? Like, baby, they want that. And it's singing, it's all kind of like Rule is, I'm talking Rule is scorching at this time. So they like, and she fought for me, and they even down to the fact of calling our version Superwoman Part 2. If you look up to the date, it says Part 2 on it, because they kind of wanted to put it out.
That is a fact.
They put it out without me first, and it was like, bubbling and doing this thing, but then they put the version out with me, and it took off. And they had to go with Part 2, you know what I'm saying, and make that her single and kind of run from there. And that was also just even the success of that showed me, kind of like sticking to what you think is true and what you think is the right thing to do, rather than, because it was a decision for me at the time, because I was just like, damn, I'm about to like forfeit my deal. I ain't got a record deal no more. Like, you know what I mean?
That's what we doing, Clue.
Yeah. What's the plan?
Yeah. And you kind of like banking your moves on somebody else and what happens with their shit. You know what I'm saying? I could have just been like, yo, bro.
Yeah.
Just be real, man. Yo, man, I don't, you know what I mean? I'm gonna holler at you, you know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? I kind of just stayed with the flow of that, and I think it worked out for me, and I think I had the people with me who believed in me from the start and navigated with that. So that would be like the moment that was like a real make or break decision moment for me that, led me to y'all couch today.
Hey, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And yo, speaking of the beginning, you know what I'm saying, the early Fab days, and speaking of Champ was talking about longevity and being relevant in the game for so long. The 23rd anniversary of your debut album, Ghetto Fabolous, you know what I'm saying, is coming up.
What we doing?
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you know what's crazy?
Where we at? What we doing?
What's crazy, dog?
What
I don't
we
know if you
doing?
remember like the campaign for that album.
I remember, sir, many like different things that's completely not even being done no more. I think we was like even campaign. Well, it might have been my age too, but we was campaigning like the high schools.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
we
it
had
was
like
different.
folders
Shit was different.
Yes.
that was like Fabolous academic folder. Academics was like this line that was big at the time too, or growing big. Pause. Whoa. And then, the folder, you know what I'm saying? The folder was like a picture of me and picture me in an academic suit. And we like went to high schools and like, or if I didn't go personally, they gave them to the high schools because, the kids were in tune with Fabolous at that time. So it's like, it was just different marketing and stuff that we was doing at this time that I don't even think Like,
they're not doing that today.
Yeah, it's all about the
bring
internet
it back.
today.
You can bring that back.
Yeah,
the
Resurface.
You know what's crazy?
The kids don't got on their phone. They don't even care.
Fabulous
They don't even care,
academics
but
has crazy.
on the flip side of that, I would argue that I feel like kids now want collectibles. You know what I'm saying?
It's starting to get there.
You know what I'm saying? It's starting to get there.
I think, certain kids do.
Certain kids
is like,
they want that fat vinyl.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They chasing nostalgia.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's just both things for kids are so heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like just the social element of things online is so big that they gotta tune in there. That's why I like all of the streaming guys are big, and the Twitch guys and all, because that's their world. That's the world that they grew up in too. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. You know what I mean?
Would you ever fuck with that with like streaming stuff like that? Like
me do it or go on,
or just have like a Fabulous Fridays. You know what I'm saying? We here live.
24 hours with Fab?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
It was on Twitch for 24 hours.
You in Jersey, nigga, I come through, nigga, with a you know what I'm saying, with some sour.
I'm not doing nothing for 24 hours. No way.
Yeah. So
you do the listening party, man. Yeah. 24 hours streaming.
24 hours. Yo, we got to do it, chill right here. Right? 24 hours at the hood.
We got to tap out. I'm got to tap out for a little bit. I need my own mental space.
Take a nap.
I don't even like talking for half of the day. So I'm like, I gotta talk in spurts and intervals.
Hey, it's like your meme, champ, when you on the plane with the sleeper mask.
Yeah, I don't want to be bothered with nobody.
I need some
Let me reboot.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Reload.
So, question for both of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Both being vets, you know what I'm saying, respectively. Do you go back and listen to your old shit? And do you go back and watch old film? Because, I'm real quick, I'm going to just tell you the story. I did a piece with Bartolo Colon. You know Bartolo Colon, the pitcher?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I did a piece with him, and he was showing me old footage of him. Like, he's like, motherfuckers was mad because I used to come in the game throwing 92 in the first inning, and then by the ninth inning, I was throwing 102, and they was mad as fuck. And he showed me video. And I'm just like, he's like kind of like going like through his older stuff and like, this is kind of like my greatest hits. Do you do that?
I mean, I definitely listen to older stuff of, but like not really like
nostalgia?
showing it off, but like just kind of like music. Like, you know what I mean? You might be somewhere. My old music is played wherever. So you walk in somewhere, I could have walked in here, y'all have been having like a Fab playlist playing. Like, you know what I mean? People do that no matter where I go. But so I definitely get to hear it on my own. Sometimes I hear stuff and just to see what kind of where I was at in that time too. Right. Like, you know what I mean? It was different stages of, you just being a man and growing as a person. You know what I'm saying? You listen to certain music, you was like, oh, I was in this space at this time. And, when I was in my younger space, it was more about just making music and enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really like as you grow, you start having a different agenda. You might have things you want to get across, things you want to say is about certain things. You get older than that, then now it's more shaped than that and less shaped than just randomly doing what you want to do. So with me, I definitely still listen to it to answer the question, and I don't really like pull it out for the kids. Like, this was me in 19.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
98.
You feel me? Like,
y'all young boys don't know nothing about
you
this.
gotta let them know sometimes, though. You know what I mean? They try to flunk front on you.
You hear this flow right here? Like,
come on, like,
I don't really do that, but
you hear this flow right here?
If it come on and we vibing and shit, like,
What about you, Chip? Do you look back at certain games, certain moments in your career where it was like, damn, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is for the longest, I never watched my national championship game for like 9 years, like 8, 9 years. And then I went back to watch it with like team, you know what I mean? Like a reunion type shit. I'm like, oh shit, this is what we was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, so now start putting you back into that mindset of shit you was doing, where you was at, the experiences. So now all of that gets a lot of clarity on the situation. NBA, I have to, because I got to stay sharp, right? So I got to watch, again, I watch the longevity, so I watch career, so I got to see where I was at, the mindset of 19, 20 years old, 24 years old, 28, 30. You know what I mean? Now you start seeing
even different teams.
You start seeing the whole picture, and gives you a whole nother perspective, a perspective that I probably wouldn't have never had because I've never watched it. And also, with my son, I gotta watch it. I also gotta stun on these little niggas. Like, nigga, what? Like, you niggas is bugging. Like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, like, I won't even do it. Like, I won't even put this shit on. Like, they be in the room hiding upstairs watching, and I walk in, they try to change the channel real quick. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they already know what they doing, but the fact that, like, sometimes I'll be wanting that thrill. Like, I'll be wanting that feeling of, like, damn, like that excitement of on the court and plays and the fans and you know what I mean, the commentators. And so I chase that sometimes. But for the longest, I've never rewatched it. Only up until like a couple years ago, that I'll go back and like, all right, let me go back to the OKC year. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then because it keeps me sharp. And you talking about iron sharp as iron, like it keeps me sharp of going back and watching it all the way through from where I'm at today. I can have a totally different perspective, which is why I say that was one of my like greatest experiences going over there fucking with PG and Russ. Because now I got a different type of perspective on what we were supposed to do, on how we did it, how we brought that shit together, the stories within the stories that people don't really know. Shit that I wasn't thinking about a year after, 2 years, or even still playing in the league.
Right.
So I have to go back and watch it. And I just love it. Like, I just love, you know what I mean? I love the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm a student of the game. So if I'm looking at like trying to perfect shit and like, I know what I've done. I know the work that I've put in. So I know what I'm looking for. I know the sharpness that I'm looking for. I know the movement that I'm looking for. And I critique myself more now. Going back, like, man, what the fuck you was doing at that? Like, man, what you doing over there, nigga? So now when I critique myself, my son is like, oh shit, like, oh damn. So I'm seeing the bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That I was doing at 19, 20, 21 years old, that I was fighting at that point in time if somebody was saying that about me. Right? So it's a lot of perspective that rewatching that shit, you know, it puts you into a different mindset.
Right. Even older, you can learn from the younger you too. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact. Yeah.
You learn, like, look at what you was doing and be like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's in that time, you might have not even thought you was doing nothing wrong, or you thought you was doing something good, or you know what I mean? Like, you could look back at it now and be like, all right, and that worked for you in that time.
That's a fact.
But you can learn from it as, you know, in a different space, bro.
I love it though. I you know, in basketball, if niggas tell you they don't watch their highlights, niggas is lying. Like, niggas in football, niggas say they don't watch. Like, we 100%. Watch film all day fucking long. Like, nigga, you watching highlights.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
Most times the coaches send you the highlights to watch. Like, oh, what you did good. Here's 6, 7 plays that you did. You know what I mean? The bad plays, but here's what we got to continue to do. So you already watching your highlights and shit. So niggas is lying. Niggas is lying.
Like, nah, I don't really.
I don't watch my film. Get the fuck out of here. With big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Somewhere between the store and your first month bill, the price magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again.
That's right, champ. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. You know what I'm saying? Unlike other experiences I've had where you get a service fee, a fee, a fee FIFO from, you know what I'm saying? Too many fees, you know what I'm saying? So say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, stupid, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages, man. It's over for that.
So use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/7pm. That's mintmobile.com/7pm.
You've worked with a lot of, like, you know what I'm saying, like legendary artists, you know what I'm saying? Like Nate Dogg, rest in peace, Just Blaze, Timberland, the Neptunes, man, like one of my personal favorites, you know what I'm saying, the Freddie vs. Jason with Jada, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's your, not necessarily favorite, but like one that you could throw on and be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, as far as albums in your career?
Well, even just to go off for the one you talked about with Kiss, man. Kiss is somebody that, you know, I got a lot of love and respect for, but I also, you know, not to say grew up listening to Kiss, but when I was, just a fan of music and sitting on my block was listening to Kiss and
that was your lane.
And you know what I'm saying? So to even be able to be in the game and doing a project with Kiss and working with Kiss and even just having a solid relationship with Kiss is one of the things that I value and appreciate. So doing that project was really dope for me. I learned even more about Kiss like on an internal level. You know what I mean? Like Kiss is hilarious.
Yo, Kiss is a funny dude,
man. Kiss like grumpy in the morning. We used to have to do like press in the morning. Kiss grumpy as shit in the morning.
Come on, whatever.
Gemini shit. Yeah, Gemini shit.
Def Jam. He used to give Def Jam a fucking ride.
Gemini shit.
Yeah.
But that's my guy, man. Word.
So with Freddie vs. Jason, you were really hands-on, part and left, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite joints is the intro, tried to test Smooth, you know what I'm saying? What was like you said, like you learned a lot about Jada, but like what was it that meshed? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times like dudes like A1, like we call him the white hat on the show, like the guy, you know what I'm saying? Like the guy is the guy that sets the tone, right? So like if Fab is in a studio session with doing Fab shit, he's setting the tone. If Kiss is in a studio session doing his thing, he's setting the tone. When y'all come together, what is that studio session like? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause some people like having their peoples in there. Yo, play me that beat again. Yo, roll something up. You know what I'm saying? Yo, pour that up. Some people like to just be like, yo, shut the fuck up. Just play the beat.
We had different sessions. We had sessions at my spot. We had sessions up at the D Block studio. We went up there, but I wanted to also, like be in his world and be in his element. You know what I'm saying, creatively too, and vice versa. So I thought that would make our collaboration kind of more organic because we got to be in both in each other's element and create that way. Sometimes it's you more comfortable in your own element. So, sometimes you gotta go outside of your element and go record there and go do your process or do whatever you gotta do there just so that it's not just so that you're able to just work and challenge yourself sometimes too. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we both did that. I think that was a good part of it. Also, when we were doing press, like I said, we would ride together or do everything together so that we would have that chemistry just along with the project and shit like that. So, but Kiss is I will say Kiss works early versus I was a night owl. So I'll work late and Kiss work early. Like we a couple sessions that get too late, Kiss dozing off in that motherfucker. Like, that's when I knew Kiss is over. That's when I know he's done for the
day.
Come on,
And he smoked it all day, so it's going down. After a certain point, I'm like, yeah, Kiss is done, y'all.
I mean, as a competitor, right? Like, what was that iron sharpened iron like that? Because that's high level shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, you got your shit, he got his shit. Like, y'all both bringing those conglomerates together.
Yeah.
And y'all both know that y'all are nice. You get what I'm saying? So, and both of y'all respect each other's handles. So coming together, what was that process of like?
I think it was a promise to each other.
This is what we're going to do.
We're going to do what we do at our highest level let's do what we do and put our all in from each. We don't have to try to be each other. We don't have to try to, lean on each other. Let's do what we do. If you come with a verse and I come with a verse, let's, and we both in the back of our mind too, like you said, I'm with a killer right now. This is Jason Voorhees, you know what I'm saying? And I'm Freddy Krueger, so we gotta like really come with our shit every joint. But I think we approached it like that, but then still had the respect of each other too. Like it wasn't really like a competitive
it was fun
collaboration kind of thing. It was more fun. Like, we want to do this because we fuck with each other. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Jadakiss something else that you and Jadakiss have in common is you had niggas wearing paper towel headbands out here in these streets, bro. How did that come about, B? Because like I did it.
That was some hood shit. Kiss. I think Kiss got it from the hood too. Like I think that was some hood shit that was circling around at that time.
It was some street ball shit though, like basketball niggas used to cut their sleeves off, wrap them around.
It was a time. It was a t-shirt thing too. People put their white tee and tied it around their head too. Like so, it really all of those kind of trends really kind of like
came from the block.
There's a lot of hip hop trends that like the hood. I mean, the people know, but like the hood is really who stamped them, and somebody else just comes and put it on the screen, and then like you get the this guy did this and started, but it really just been something that was you seeing in your hood every day, and you know what I mean. Like somebody told me at one point, all the way back when like Run DMC was wearing shit with no laces in them, it came from a guy who was going to jail, and they take your laces and you get arrested. He come back, he wears shell toes with no laces and shit like that, and then they came with it and just thought, you know what I mean? Now Run DMC is hugely famous for shell toes
with no shoestrings,
right? With no shoestrings, that's crazy. Right. Yo, so walk us through some of your like, you know what I mean, like Fab's greatest hits. You know what I mean? Because you got a lot of them. You know what I mean? Like
Soul Tape was a run for me though, Chad.
Right.
So Soul Tape. That's what we was talking about with the transition of the kind of music that you do based on whether the season that you in at that time. You know what I'm saying? Soul Tape came to me at a time where I wanted to talk a little bit more, but I also wanted to talk over those soul samples because it gave you the platform to really talk. You know what I'm saying? A lot of like club stuff or like, you know what I mean? It's not really about what you're talking. It's about just making something that people could vibe to and club and party to. So Soul Tape came at a time where I was kind of like, yo, man, it's time for niggas to like sit down and listen to some shit. Like, you know what I mean? And really talk to them. So that's where I was at probably in 2011. And I had already probably been in the game at 10 years at that point. I had did the commercial thing. I had the female hits and, had the R&B remixes and had all that. But at that point, I was ready to like, let me talk to y'all for a minute. And that's where the Soul Tape came about.
You know what I'm saying? Like Breathe, you know what I'm saying, was one of them ones, you know what I mean?
Breathe was another one in that situation too. Right. Breathe came after
was that your beat originally?
Yeah, how did that not survive? I want to use that word, but how the fuck did Breathe? Like at the time, we talking about like where the industry was at, the sound was at.
It wasn't the thing.
It wasn't a thing at that point.
Trying to like shift a little bit, but it also for me, I had like So Into You with the Tamia Ashanti joint. I had Can't Let You Go. I had a bunch. I had Traded All with the Jagged Edge. I had a bunch of the female friendly radio cuts. At that time too, radio was dominant by you had to make those kind of songs to be on radio.
100%. So
at that time I had a bunch of those and I was kind of like, man, I gotta go back a little bit. Like that's where Breathe came from because I was like, I'm going too far one way and it might get to a point where people don't even know that you even rap.
Yeah, they gonna keep you there,
or don't, you know what I mean? Or don't even put you in that category. So that's how we did Breathe. I got with Just Blaze. And the crazy part about Just Blaze, he's a producer that does, at that time too, does everything from Breathe to Can't Let You Go. Like people didn't even know that he did Can't Let You Go, but but you heard Breathe and you heard all the sample stuff that he was doing for Hove, and that kind of goes together. But he had some like girl joints and stuff that he did as well. So Just Blaze came in with Breathe. We knocked that out. And I was, kind of like telling people for the next project, I want Breathe to be the next thing. And my label still was a little bit iffy on it because they just knew the history of what the other female records did. And I think they kind of like, they put another record out to kind of test it first ahead of Breathe. And I still wasn't with it. I was like, man, y'all kind of like going against me. I really want to go with the Breathe joint. And they ended up pushing Breathe out and Breathe started responding more. And then they pulled back from, what record at that time. Was it Baby? It might have been Baby or something like that. But whatever it was, they let it be what it was, but just now push on Breathe. And Breathe ended up, and even at that time, like Breathe became like #1 on 106 and Park and stuff like that. But that wasn't even that kind of joint. That wasn't a 106 and Park. 106 and Park, if I gotta explain, it was like Bow Wow and like, you know, the girlfriend. Like that was that kind of. Breathe wasn't the type of song that was supposed to be #1 up there or in that fashion. So when it started doing well, I was just, you know, kind of like at the same time banking on just some true hip hop, but also just not letting, you know, my career go too far in one direction and not sticking to what, you know, I actually do.
Did you feel it with that? Okay. Did you feel a way? What mode you was in when there's no competition?
There's no competition. I was like
fuck everybody.
Went back to everybody.
Like fuck everybody.
Mixtape shit.
Okay.
Like, the label shit. Fuck all of it. Like, you know what I mean? That's really where I was at right there. Like I didn't even like
give a fuck.
Yeah, I didn't. It was because also too there was a mixtape culture at that time. Yes. There was like, you know, that whole like that Piff and wherever you got the tapes from, whether it was even in the streets, the mixtape culture was.
Sammy's on Fordham.
I want to almost say like it was so big. It was
that Piff was everything though.
It was so it grew so big that it was like kind of more appreciated than albums at one point.
Yeah.
The mixtape little circuit, you know what I'm saying? When Wayne was dropping the
dedications
and all that,
and you know what I mean? Like it was a lot of mixtape series that was bubbling that everybody was listening to in those times, you know what I'm saying? And even the mixtape DJs, the dramas, the, you know, whoever was putting out tapes, they was thriving too because the mixtape scene was exploding,
Street Juice too.
They had shit on Smash though. Them mixtapes was on Smash.
Him,
it was him.
Oh yeah.
Wayne, Dedication. Young, Jeezy.
Jeezy
like,
time
them
too.
niggas had.
Those are these niggas.
Bro, come on, them niggas
Those are y'all are the Dat Piff crashers. You know what I'm saying? When
them
y'all
niggas
drop,
had shit
they would
crazy.
crash the server and shit.
I remember that Piff crashing. Yo, that's crazy. The site crash.
Niggas was mad at Dat Piff. What the fuck are y'all doing over there?
Site crash.
Like, there's so many niggas on there at the same time trying to get that tape, bro. This shit just
They had shit on Smash in the summer though.
That was that time. So that's why like when I tapped back into that, I was like, nah. That was feeding me and feeding my energy more than like going to your label and putting out a song. Like, you know what I mean? Which is crazy, but it was just that was the time. It was the energy.
You had properties though, bro. Like you know how niggas do movies and they got properties like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? And they come with, you know, Donatello 1, 2. Like, this nigga had properties though.
Spinoff.
That's what I'm saying. Like the Power Universe.
It's crazy because
you think about it.
It was so popular. It was almost like the line was blurred. You know what I'm saying? Because Street Dreams 2 is one of my favorite joints of yours. You know what I'm saying? Pardon left. And it's called the mixtape.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I copped it in the store.
Because they did that because the mixtape world was so thriving that they just wanted to try to like, they tried to have a major release, but have it but it still wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? The mixtape shit is like you had to discuss. It's like the underworld. It's the you know what I mean? If you gotta go buy it in the store, it's not the same thing as the, you know what I mean? The mixtapes you bought in the store was in them little shops like Harlem
shit,
Music Huts and little the little spots like, you know what I mean? Had the DVDs,
Shout that out.
You work it or you jerk it. You had to go to those type of spots for the joints. You know what I mean? Like, if you went in fucking, what was selling CDs at that time?
Fucking Sammy's,
Tower,
for them, dog.
Tower Records.
Tower Records and Targets and all that. You go to buy shit in there, that's not the mixtape culture. That's not it. So they was trying to tap into that by like calling a mixtape, yo, do some freestyles on there and do some like, you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But it wasn't, you know what I mean? They was just kind of capitalizing. That's like what labels do. Yeah, trying to capitalize off of the Fab mixtape run. You know what I mean?
Yo, talk about the, you know what I'm saying, the current state of hip hop, you know what I mean? As a decorated vet. Lil Durk recently just said hip hop ain't what it used to be. Why do you think people say that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know what it used to be.
Right.
I don't know. Like, I think hip hop is what it is, and I think it can't be what it used to be because whenever this used to be time that anyone is talking about, it was a different time for them as well. Even for Lil Durk, Lil Durk is a guy who put in a major work to get to where he is. You know, for him to come in the game, I believe around 2012-ish or so. And I think Durk even, one of the things I love and respect about Durk is like the sound and the things changed around him too. And he was able to adapt and find the new Little Durk and keep going. So I don't think there is a used to hip hop is gonna keep evolving. It's been evolving since the 80s or 70s when it came out. You know what I mean? It's gonna keep going to different levels. It's a business also now. So at one point it was just a craft that we like to do and sit and listen to. Where
it's an industry now.
Now it's a whole $1 billion empire, and it has to be treated as such. You can't only. And I think you have to play both sides. You have to deal with the business, but you also have to deal with the culture as well. Right. And but even as a culture, it's not going to stay what it used to be. It's going to keep growing. It's going to keep evolving. The times are changing. The people are changing. The listener is changing. Right. It was a time that, you know, hip hop wasn't going as far as it. It's become a international, universal language in every country that you could go to. You could hear hip hop in it now.
Niggas in Bulgaria got your shit.
Niggas in Poland.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
niggas in shit that you can't even pronounce.
With the weird letters and shit. You know what I'm saying? Fabolous.
English.
Niggas don't know shit. They don't know no English, but they know all the words. Crazy.
Do you go back, like, because you know your vibe, right? You know what you look for. You know your mold. Do you go back and look at artists that's out there now and be like, all right, I can see that's a fab mold. That's he cut from one of these cloths. Not cut from the cloth of where you come from, but like cut from, he got a style, he got a swag, he got a sound that reminds you of you in a sense. Like who was that artist?
I don't always really see it, because I look more for people being themselves more than like I look for some kind of similarity. You know what I'm saying? I think that's another thing in our culture too. We look at our artists and try to figure who he's similar to or who he sounds like, or who, you know what I mean?
And I
try to stay away from, even down to myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some artists will come up to me and tell me that they, you know, either got certain things from me or listen to certain things that I did and you know, incorporated it, and but I still see that they incorporated it into themselves and being themselves, which I appreciate. I think we all, as artists, listen to other guys or listen to other stuff and been fans of it and, you know, absorb it or digest it, but like not try to be them or try to do exactly what they doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what I appreciate, you know what I mean? When I see like guys that are, even for somebody else, even not myself, like I see there's a lot of influence I was talking about with Lil Wayne that I think that he not always recognized for, as far as his footprint on the game, as far as like even just the texture, the look.
Influence.
You know what I'm saying? He influenced a lot of what, even so much that it's gotten away from him.
Yeah.
Now you see it is either a norm or you connected to somebody else, but it really came from like the grandfather of it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might even be just connecting it to the father, but you didn't even see that, you know, the face tats or the dreads or the, you know, the skinny jeans, whatever, all of that came from a lineage of Wayne, you know, bringing that to the game. And not even saying he created it on earth, but he brought it to the culture.
He created a lane for the culture.
100%. Yeah.
So but I think, you know, a lot of guys have, you know, taken some of that and did they own thing with it as well. Even down to the music or the style of it. I think even when I came into, I will say that there was a style of, like, Fab was like the guy you go find, the metaphoric rapper you go find. Like I felt like guys went and did that too. Like I felt like they was going to look for their fab in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I won't say the names because I don't want them to think
that
we
don't do
I'm
that.
saying
No, we don't do that. No, we don't do that. We don't do that over here. We don't do that over here. No,
niggas will be watching.
Yeah, I already
trying to say I'm Lil Fab.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I'm saying, but people who get it know what I'm saying. Like in that time, like, you know, we had to find somebody who raps in that pocket, or like, you know what I mean. And that's a control. And niggas was going to sign that guy.
That's a fact.
Kiss said you sign anything like Kiss, then sign right here.
And to that point, we talk about that a lot, about like the younger generation in basketball, and you know, now in music, because we're talking to you, reaching out to the OGs and being like, yo man, like I got this deal on the table, you know what I'm saying? Or like I'm doing this 20 city tour, you did this tour back there, like can you give me advice? Like woo.
I talked to a lot of the young guys coming up. I talked to one time like Bobby Smurda when he was coming out, and he was in the heat of his,
nigga Bobby,
you know what I mean? And he was in the heat of his shit, but he was just going through a lot of like shit on the back burner, like, you know, with management and shows and shit like that, because a lot of guys, they even if they catch a record and they hot and they getting money, and it's, you know, they don't come from any background of having to know how to manage that or know how to. So like one time I just sat in the dressing room, just kicking it with him and just kind of like telling him, you know, some kind of just ways to figure through it, because he was already knee deep in it. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, well, you got to go do this and you got to do that, and you got to also pay attention from this point too, because now that you know this is going on, you got to pay attention to everything. Like when you just get money, sometimes niggas is not even paying attention.
Oh,
just
oblivious. That's a
niggas
fact.
just handing them shit. They just
oblivious.
like just taking everything. And just taking
you just come out your door, there's a black car there, ready to take you wherever the fuck.
But we all go through it though. We all go through it.
You really sit down and be like, nah, hold on.
Yeah, fuck is going on? Fuck out of here.
Yeah, for real. How much this car cost? Why does she come every day? Why does this nigga wait for me everywhere I go?
Hold on, fuck out of here. Hold on, and then fuck out of here. As you start thinking,
this nigga's wildin'.
So, as an MC, you know what I'm saying, the MC's MC, you know what I mean? A lot of like, you know, classic freestyles, you know what I mean? Very well known for going up to like a radio station and just shutting it down, jacking for beat style, you know what I mean? Like, what is your take on competitive rap battles, beefs? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you look forward to them? Are you like, this is some marketing bullshit? Or like
the Drake Kendrick shit just recently? That's a great moment for hip hop. That's two of the top dogs. Like you might have not seen nothing like that since Jay and Nas.
Yeah.
So that was a moment. That was a moment for hip hop. It was also played out in this era too, where you getting it so much faster because it's the internet, and they got to respond on internet time. I do think Kendrick was prepared. I think he like loaded the clip and was ready.
He was like, all right, man, I got this shit right here.
Drake was kind of like just doing it off of the roll and
responding.
But yeah, just responding. But I think it was a great moment for hip hop. I also think it, you know, for those type of MCs, it will keep them sharp. You know what I'm saying?
Right, sure.
I think that they both might have even needed that in a sense. You know what I'm saying? It's a lesson in competition that you learn from, where you gotta outdo someone to prove why you're
valuable.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I think that gets learned. Is it gonna make it break either him or Drake? I don't think so. I think, you know, Drake will be fine, even with everybody, you know, concerned and asking about and all new shit that's going on with the Super Bowl and all of that. But I think everybody will be fine. You know what I'm saying? I think it was just a moment, the same way Jay and Nas are fine. You know what I mean?
Niggas signed together.
You know, they end up doing songs after it together. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be all right. You know what I mean?
We gonna be all right.
Super Bowl here in New York. And they don't call you.
Oh, I mean, I think I think that whole situation, it's a process though.
Yeah,
I'm more in it than the average person who just tweeting there.
Nah, I'm talking to you. This is me and you talking.
Not about the Wayne situation?
Not about the Wayne situation. If Super Bowl here in New York, it was LA.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad.
I find that hard to believe, Champ.
Nah, I wouldn't be mad.
If they did a mixtape homage,
now
they had Clue up there, and they don't bring Joe Budden up there. They don't bring you up there.
Now you're like, yo, now they doing it in your projects. You want to go deeper. What if they doing it in your projects in the park?
Yeah.
And they say
in the elevators.
I just want to know that, like,
you know.
I can say, you know, like, I just know. And
all right, now I might be tight.
That's
good about projects. Okay, but if they did
Super Bowl
in New York,
Brooklyn, like.
If they do it in New York, I wouldn't feel. But even with that said, I do understand why people are upset with the Wayne. I do think would be a great moment for Wayne as well.
But,
I just think that the narrative that they are running with, you know, it's like an internet hate train of like, yo, it's Hove and but it's a process to that, man. It's not just like, you know what I mean? And then all the time when I just feel like when every time it's time to blame somebody, we blame the people that look like us. You know what I mean? Like ain't nobody say nothing. Not if they have to, but nobody ain't say nothing to Roger Goodell like it just turned into Jay-Z's problem. And you know what I mean? I just think that people, that's the easy scapegoat, and we don't even really know all the way up what's going on. But
man. You don't know what's
you know
happening.
what I mean? So I could see it be upset that it wasn't Wayne, but I just don't I don't agree with everybody just thinking it's Hov fault. Like Hov hated them and that's why they didn't.
Come on, you got hate in your blood.
Niggas is using 50 and niggas are using 80.
Niggas is crazy.
Anything, bro.
He didn't want 50 there, so that's why.
That's why he said that. And then if you do the math.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I think we got to stop, you know, painting a narrative against us all the time. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Let's paint a narrative or come together and get them to get Wayne if we let's do that.
It's very top layer.
Going at Hov is gonna be all right again.
Right.
he's gonna be all right. Okay. And he's gonna be at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Chilling in the box.
Chilling.
Whoever performing. Whoever performing.
Yeah.
Come on. So
I would love to see that though. Like you know what I mean? Like as a fan, like
I
would love to see Weezy.
Yeah. I think it would be a great moment. I think it's, you know, but we also, the NFL is
on different levels, it would be a great moment.
It's also been, like, look who's performed in recent years all the way back. It's never really been, it's been whoever's the big pop moment of that moment. I don't think they do it by who's right or who, you know what I'm saying, or to make the hip hop culture.
You know
what I mean?
Right.
You got people sitting at the desk that's
culture
like
can't even get in the Super Bowl. And the audience that watches it is way bigger than the hip hop culture too.
Yeah.
So they making decisions in a different. Would the hip hop culture love one? Yes, we all want Lil Wayne at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying?
We got Louisiana Fest though coming.
Yeah.
Weezy Fest coming soon. Yeah.
I mean, the Billy Bobs, they're like, who the hell is that? You know what I'm saying? They might.
Nah.
Listen, bro.
Listen, I can't let you slide with that. No, I can't let you slide with that one, Chip.
Listen, it's a fun fact. I went last year. Certain people didn't know they know who Usher is, but certain people.
That's a fact.
People.
I know.
Don't know
that's
that.
A fact.
You know what I mean? They don't know how big he was. Like we singing every word of Confessions.
Right,
I think you just shit. The people next to you kind of like scratching their chin. Like,
what y'all doing?
But that's because it's just different cultures and different. You know what I'm saying?
Two Americans, man. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Miley Cyrus was out there. They might know that, and we would be like this. You know,
like,
we might not have enjoyed it.
It would have been a party in the USA.
It's just different cultures.
You know what I'm saying? Speaking of USA, you know what I'm saying, and USA jerseys. You know what I'm saying? You are the United States of America, probably international king of throwback jerseys, bro. Going back to the paper towel headband days to now, like you got jerseys that niggas don't even have. Like the Will Smith Bel Air was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
the whole TV run.
Buffalo.
You feel me?
Buffalo was crazy.
Come on now. You know what I mean? Like
Buffalo was crazy.
Yo.
Is there any jerseys that you regret wearing? Because we had D Wade on the show.
We got a segment called Nasty Jerseys.
Nasty jerseys. You know what I'm saying? The Mellow Rockets. Nasty. You know what I'm saying? Nasty. The D Wade Cavs. Nasty. Like, do you got one that you're like, all right, bro, maybe I shouldn't have thrown on
Pat, you on Orlando is nasty.
Pat, you on the Sonics?
I got mad at those, bro. I ain't gonna even hold you. I got like jerseys that is some jerseys I didn't even know who the player was at some points where it was just like, why am I got an Ulster tag? You know what I mean? It was just about tag jersey. It was just I just had the team. It was just like at that one point. It was just like jerseys was just like a shirt. It wasn't even like I wasn't connecting it to the player, so to say. So
the white Ulster tag was crazy.
Yeah, Greg Ulster tag. He had the crazy
white Ulster tag was crazy.
Why are you rocking Ulster tag?
Yeah, you a fan of Ulster tag?
Yeah, you're like, yo, Fab, those sports.
Yeah, that's what they call the Fabolous sport.
Shout out to Ulster tag, man. I ain't got no smoke
that
with
jersey
you,
is fire.
It's a random ass.
That jersey is fire.
Name.
The white with the Utah skyline.
The jersey was fire.
Come on, they got the Jim McElvain Sonics.
Nobody don't, you know what I mean? I might have couldn't get out. It was the jersey they had.
You know
but I needed that jersey.
He had the Syracuse Nationals joint. It was crazy.
The TV joints was fun because
those are your
even
favorite?
outside of sport, and I wouldn't say I'm a big sports fan, so I can't say they were my favorite, but it was fun because everybody could connect to those moments too. Whether even if you're an athlete or whatever, right. You watched Saved by the Bell and seen the Bayside jersey, or you watched Martin and seen when he went out there and played against the WNBA chicks, or you know what I mean, or the Fresh Prince joints, of course. Like, you know what I mean, all of those they have like funness. Even I had the Drake joint when he was on Degrassi too. I had that joint made, so I was like, you know, all of those. There's just moments that. I never even watched Degrassi. I never even seen one episode of that. But I knew from the Jersey, I knew from the, you know what I mean, the Jersey shit. But I was just like a fan of, you know, sports from the original growing up, just playing every sport from baseball to basketball to football. And then the jerseys were also a connection to your favorite players. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I probably would have, if I'm really thinking about it, I really would have only wore the players that I fucked with. Mm-hmm. But then as it grew, then I, of course, was introduced to the Mitchell and Ness era of throwback jerseys, and some of them throwbacks was before.
I had the song called Throwback,
but it was just a vibe. They was just fire, and the texture of them, they had a different texture. And they were using the texture. I guess those were the jerseys that they wore, and you know what I'm saying, the baseball joints, the football joints, so all of that, man, and then they even came about to like the players in the 90s and stuff that we grew up. It was a time, man. It was definitely only bad part is we was wearing them shits way too big. And now them shits is just like
yo,
like your grandma. Yeah, them shits is down to the knees. At one point I was gonna try to like get them like altered and what's the name, but the numbers is this fucking big. You got fucking 9 this big. Like you make the shit your size, but the whole shirt is a 9. Like, you know what I mean?
Like yo, they bringing back Geno Green. What's going on over there? You know what I'm saying?
It was a time, man. I like a lot of people. Even Rich Paul told me this story of how he met Bron was through jerseys, and it was a jersey that he seen. When he told me that story, that shit fucked me because one, I thought Rich Paul knew Bron from the sandbox, but he was like, nah, we met in the airport, and he was like, yo, you got the Jersey Fab hat on, and they end up, and now they, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like my, you never know what, you know, what part you play in other people's stories sometimes, you know what I'm saying? It's just ill.
Off the jersey, it's a conversation piece, you know what I'm saying? Listen, man, another conversation piece every week on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. It's America's #1 segment, goddammit, on America's #1 show. It's fuck with it or fuck out of here, fam. Well, we ask you a question, you know what I'm saying, that's served up by the internet, and you tell us if you fucking with it, meaning, yeah, I fucks with that, I like that. Like,
fuck out of here,
I like that, you know what I'm saying? Or, fuck out of here, nah, man, same for me, beat it, you know what I'm saying? So, first off, Melo doesn't like rankings, you know what I'm saying?
This is new, I ain't see this one.
You know what I mean? But recently, Trae Young from the Hawks was on $1 million worth of game, and when he was asking to name his all-time starting 5, he surprised a lot of people when he put Mike, Air Jordan, as his 6th man coming off the bench. in his defense, he was asked who would play alongside him. He said Kobe, KD, Shaq, and Bron. So it's kind of like,
Yeah,
pick your poison.
I mean, I fuck with it because it's generational. It's with whoever you grew up and who you, music the same way. I couldn't say certain people before my time is. I'm not gonna sit here and put Wilt Chamberlain in my top 5 just because I know he one of the greats. I didn't live through that time.
I just read his book.
You know what I mean?
Word, that's it.
I ain't even read the book. I only seen him holding the 100 thing up.
The book is ill. The book is ill. Y'all check that out.
I gotta. So that's why I say everybody got their own. Even when with artists and people say, when you ask your kids and say he could see you meet all of these, but everybody from Jay-Z to Lil Wayne, and he still come in and say who his favorite is, and it's little Tuka or something like that. You know what I mean?
I go through it today.
What? You know what I mean? But that's who.
Like,
that's the people of their time.
He's like, that song go crazy. That ransom joint go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. All right, listen, Champ. Yeah. Mike coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
Fucking with it or fuck out of it.
Never.
You feel me? Like as much
Never.
as listen, I'm a Knicks fan, dog, and as much as Mike broke my heart growing up, you know what I'm saying? I can't see him coming off the bench. I can't see Mike being like, I'm gonna come off the bench.
But for his,
I agree with that.
I gotta respect his generation.
Oh yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a tough one, though.
It's super
fake. I can't.
It's just like my thing is like the reason why I hate lists is because certain people don't deserve to be on lists.
Mm-hmm.
Like MJ don't supposed to be on nobody's list.
He's in a.
They don't supposed to be on nobody's list. Like these are guys, but they ain't supposed to be on nobody's list. Fuck them lists.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a 5 without them niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's separate a bunch of those guys, right? We all know who the Bron is on the, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't got to keep putting them guys on the list.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We know in hip hop who's on the list. The artists know who's on their list. You get what I'm saying? Right. So that's my point. That's why I don't like this shit. Because certain niggas don't supposed to be on the list.
I respect everybody's shit based on what they lived and what they grow through or some people have somebody who, they should help me at a time where I was going through it, and you know what I mean? Even whatever it is. Sometimes I say that they could put me on a list with other people. I'm like, how I'm on with these people though.
And
like, you know what I mean?
Niggas I'm mad that you was on that list
but
too.
Yeah, I'm like, I ain't even in that. But this 5 is the
be
people
New York,
who,
nigga.
This 5 is the people who connected with them and influenced them, and what they was listening to in their times of hardship, whatever the reason, that's what they 5 was. So I respect that more than I like when people try to make. I less respect those like the complex lists and you know what I mean, just the shits that just stir up internet talk and shit like that.
Clickbait.
But anybody personal, like, you know what I mean? Well, who was your, you know what I mean? Well, I grew up in this time, so this is my. I respect that.
You can't be mad at somebody's list though.
Yo, shout out to Trey Young, you know what I'm saying? Young
Trey put
generation.
himself in there too, though.
Yeah, for real, dog. Like, come on. You put yourself in.
That was a different one too.
That was
like me.
All right, see, this is what I'm saying.
What's your top 5? All right, first of all, me.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, Trey.
Number 2. Mike still ain't let you start. I don't know what you're talking about.
As soon as he show up, Mike gonna be like, man,
cut this shit out.
Trey, what you doing? Get your ass on the bench.
Yo, get your mouth got shit out, nigga. Yo,
he might not even speak to him. He might just lace his shit up and walk out there.
They don't put no uniform on.
Just stand on the court. It's just 6 niggas standing there.
Let's blow the whistle. He looking at Trey like, hey,
just
nigga.
Looking around like,
it ain't me coming off.
We out there getting off the court. All right.
That's MJ, man.
Yo. All right, so recently, 2 Delta airplanes recently collided on the tarmac at Hartsfield-Jackson International in Atlanta. Shout out to the A. One was taxiing for takeoff. The other just rolled up on it like it was old money and clipped his back end, pardon the left. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was injured and both aircrafts were deplaned. According to the FAA, there have been over 1,000 near misses on runways this year. That's trending up overall along with flight delays. Fuck with it or fuck out of here. America's flight system is fucking cooked, dog. Listen, I'm gonna jump right out the window and be like, I am fucking with this. The only thing that I think goes a little bit faster nowadays is the TSA. Everything else is a fucking disaster, B. I can't tell you how many times These done caught delays. You sitting there, fucking. They done closed the Shake Shack at Newark. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if the flight is delayed an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. You've traveled a lot in your career. You've traveled a lot in your career. Like, what are we doing here?
I'm saying fuck out of here because I don't really need to know that information. When I gotta travel, I don't even know who needs to know that information. Like you know what I'm saying? I hadn't heard this story until now, but it's wild because I'm like, the planes clipped each other. What? Planes beefing. Like niggas is making them kind of mistakes.
Niggas got aircraft beefs, man. Come on, man.
That's a crazy mistake. That's what I'm like, yo, listen,
that's
you
not
ain't
a mistake,
just,
bro.
you ain't burnt toast.
You can't make that mistake.
Yo.
Can't make that mistake.
We definitely in an era that niggas is doing shit like that. Like it's shit happening, but I don't know if the world needs that information, man. They gotta
you know what's coming next?
Education era.
When they start crashing on the tarmac, now we going to flying shit.
That's why I say we don't need this information.
Yeah, we about to start going to Jetsons. We going to the Jetsons.
I don't even need to have that picture in our head.
That's what's coming next.
Yo, oh man, listen, that's why I eat an edible. I just go to sleep on the flight, no matter where I'm going. So yo, up next, y'all probably saw this on the news. Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill was pulled over by police while he was on his way to the team's game against the Jaguars. The body cam footage showed police pulling him from his car, wrestling him to the ground after he took issue with the way police knocked on his door, on the window of his car. Hill was later released and they cited him for careless driving and a seatbelt violation. Damn. According to citation released yesterday by police, Hill's vehicle had a visual estimation of 60 miles per hour. That's a crazy cop term. A teammate of Hill's was also handcuffed when he came to Hill's aid. Fuck with it the fuck out of here. Athletes should just... Fuck with it the fuck out of here. Athletes should get preferential treatment by police in their cities on game day, like escorted them to the game. I'll say this much. If you're out here wilding, you wilding. But if you're not, and you're on your way to a game, you know what I'm saying? Like you're going to play, you're stimulating the economy of your city.
Tyreek Hill playing for...
You know what I'm saying?
He try to hear that shit.
But you know what I'm saying? That's the logic.
They got
a
police. Authority. Yeah, I'm the police. Yeah. But I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with it. I say fuck out of here because they knew who he was.
I'm Detective Rizzoli.
Yeah, that's what they stand on. That's really what I'm the cops.
Yo, I don't care what you do.
To them, everything is under that. But I don't fuck with it because I believe that they knew who he was.
Yeah,
and,
that's sad.
You know, just made an example out of it. You know what I mean? I seen the camera footage of it. It got a little testy at a little point with the window shit, but I think that could have been smoothed over too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I don't fuck with it. I say fuck out of here because I think that they wanted to make an example out of it, and you know what I mean. But in today's another fuck out of here. In today's thing, that shit could have been a fucking stunt. Like I don't believe nothing.
Yo, son, it's crazy. Yo, listen, man.
I'm just gonna put it out there. Like I really don't. I watch everything. I see. I don't believe nothing.
We recently in another episode we was talking about AI and how shit is getting so crazy now that you can't tell.
Bro, the nigga went and played the game and then got a touchdown and did the lockup thing behind. Like that's why I saw that. I said, "Yo, come on, man." Was this shit? Was this the Dolphins? Did the Dolphins do this? Was this a stunt? Did I just get tricked into caring about Tyreek Hill for a second?
Mr. Coconut Grove or Coconut Stove would know. In Miami,
them boys ain't fucking around.
They do shit like that.
Yeah, they ain't fucking around down there, champ. Yeah. They leave them boys alone.
Miami's crazy. Miami's a whole different planet.
Leave the police alone, man. They ain't the Miami-Dade and all that shit. Leave them niggas the fuck alone.
Get away from me.
That's fucked up, though. Yeah, that's fucked up,
in a trolling era.
Yo, facts.
You know, as soon as I gave you my license, you know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what time it is.
Come on. Fucking, like, it should say Tyreek Hill.
You know what time it is.
Come on, dog. You know who it is.
Come on, bro. I'm going to the game. I'm late. Like,
why would I be in this spaceship if I wasn't
I'm late? Like, you know, I didn't even know it was going 60.
Drug dealer.
Because you're a small of marijuana.
I didn't even know it was 60. It was 60 to 55. We good.
Because you're a drug dealer is crazy, yo.
Them niggas knew.
Yo, listen, Brooklyn is in the motherfucking house. We here in Red Hook. 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, man. Fab, thank you for coming through, my G.
Appreciate it, man.
You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn Zone.
Yo, love.
You know we gotta do it.
Trip to Brooklyn, man.
New York City shit for real.
Can't wait.
You heard? You know what I'm saying? 7 p.m. in Brooklyn every single Tuesday. You heard? We here. We ain't going nowhere, man. We just run them numbers up. You know what I'm saying? Leave a comment on a comment. Like, subscribe, do everything. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the #1 show in the nation. Okay?
Peace.